You can't go and, make a huge crater in the middle of the street. So my thinking is, with where they're at with next gen development, they wanted to make Watch Dogs this very interactive thing, hack anything, change the environment, blah blah blah, and to do that and have these incredible graphics, it wasn't possible to have both.
Yeah, I just feel like perhaps the original stuff we saw at E3 was perhaps like on like some super duper PC, and like they've just shown like a brief outline of that world, and they sort of realised that this world's quite big and there's a lot of stuff to put in this game, so we're gonna have to like downgrade it for the console. That's the only thing I can think of, but it just feels like such a sort of empty lie almost between how we saw E3 and then how we saw the last trailer we saw, which is just so different graphically, and the gameplay looks a little bit bland as well, the shooting and stuff.
The weird part is that this was sort of hyped up as kind of an evolution of Assassin's Creed almost, right? They were kind of taking, we've got quick movement, and they would show Aiden Pierce climbing through windows and all this insane stuff that looked really great. And even the developers themselves talked about, the game wasn't fun in November. That's why they didn't release it. And it's interesting also because Watch Dogs it's on every platform, but it's kind of led on PlayStation. I mean, that's where it was supposed to be.
And stuff like that.
Right. So it's interesting to me that Infamous looks significantly better, and I wonder how much of an effect cross-gen development, like how much that really does hold back a game. Is that playing a role here, that they're having to at least make 90% of the same experience on both, PS3 360 and then Xbox One, PlayStation 4?
The only thing I'm hoping at this stage is that the PS4 sales and even the Xbox One sales really do push development into just like the next gen. We've got like Batman, which is going to be just next gen. We've got what's the other game I'm thinking of?
The Division, maybe.
Maybe that's another game I just plopped out of my head. But
Destiny, Destiny's Cross.
Yeah, Destiny's Cross as well. But that looks amazing as well. So I'm hoping that doesn't like downgrade as well. So getting nervous every time now.
And let me just like state my problem with it. My problem isn't that, the game looks worse, poo-poo, I'm a graphics snob. My problem is that they sell tons of pre-orders based on this, and they get people so excited. And two things. One, if you're not a constant game fan who's checking websites, you might still think the game looks that way when you go spend your $60. And two, it's just, I think this, I've talked about it before, I think having these super long preview cycles where you show the game for years and years, it happened even with BioShock Infinite, where the final product is so much different than what they've been showing. Like, I don't know, I think that just gives off the wrong vibe, and I wish they would hold back a little bit and not show so much, and then just present us with the game and we can judge it fairly for ourselves, in front of ourselves, instead of like, remember in 2012 when Elizabeth did this, and then in 2013 Elizabeth did this. Like, that just, it's such a strange thing.
I think they should only start showing the game when they're fully sort of confident, and this is how the game's going to look, this is how it's going to feel, and this is pretty much the way we're going. Where if like you talked about the BioShock Infinite briefly, the whole game looked completely different when we looked back at this old E3 trailer. It was like,
it was totally dynamic back then.
Yeah, it's like then we jumped to the normal games. Like, it's so different. They've just gone back on like so many steps.
Sure, and I mean, granted, it turned out to be a great game, and perhaps that will happen with Watch Dogs. My concern is just